Get the pattern for the DNA tote bag at my webshop, sidselsangild.dk, or in my Ravelry store. In this video I will show you the difficult part of the pattern, which is this cross. In the pattern for the DNA bag there are written instructions and also a chart. But I know that the cable portion of the pattern can be a bit tricky, so here's a video to help you with that. In the pattern I call this the cross. The cross is made over these 7 stitches. The thing about crochet cables and also knit cables is that you make the stitches in a different order than you normally would. Normally you will just make the stitches one by one as they appear, but when you're doing a cable you will do them in a different order. So you will make the last stitches first and then go back to the skip stitches and make them. The first part of this cross is that you make an incomplete double crochet in the first of the 7 stitches. An incomplete stitch is, as the name suggests, a stitch that you're not completely finishing. So you start as a normal double crochet, but then you stop at the point where you have 2 loops left on your hook. Then you will make a front post treble, but again an incomplete one in the 5th stitch of the 7. So you'll yarn over twice and go under the stitch, and then you're going to pull through 2 loops and again 2 loops and then stop. At this point you will have 3 loops on your hook. Then you'll yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So this is essentially a decrease. The next 2 stitches will be into the 6th and the 7th stitch of the 7 stitches. So you will make front post trebles into these last 2 stitches of the 7. So again you will yarn over twice and make the front post treble, and also in the 7th stitch. So at this point it looks a bit weird. You can see you have crocheted into the last stitches of the 7, and now you need to go back to the first stitches of the 7. But the first one you're going to crochet into is actually the middle stitch. This is a B that is situated in the middle. It's the 4th of the 7 stitches. It's the middle stitch. So to make it easier for yourself, you can look at the back side, and the B will appear here as a raised stitch. So make a B around this stitch, and now it looks even more weird. So what is going to happen now is that you're going to crochet around the first 3 stitches of the 7. So then you'll make long stitches that go across here in these 3. The first stitch is a front post treble in the first of the 7 stitches. So yarn over twice and go under. Don't try to desperately hold the front of the work towards you. This is just too much of a hassle. Just hold the stitch that you're crocheting into. That makes it much easier. So that was the first stitch, and then you make another front post treble into the 2nd stitch of the 7. And the last stitch is again a bit complicated. It is very much like the first stitch you made. It consists of 2 incomplete stitches. So you'll yarn over twice and crochet an incomplete front post treble into the 3rd stitch of the 7. So you'll go through 2 loops and 2 loops and stop when you have 2 loops left on the hook. And then again you're going to make just a normal DC, incomplete DC into the 7th stitch. This stitch has already been crocheted into. You have made a front post treble around the stitch, but now you're going into the stitch loops at top of the stitch and make an incomplete double crochet. So go through 2 loops and stop. At this point you will have 3 loops on your hook. Again, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So, and this finishes the cross. At this point it doesn't look like much, but when you crochet the next round, the stitches will unfold and you will be able to see the cable much more clearly. Important to note that when you make the next round, sometimes you can be confused as to the order of the stitches. To make sure you're doing it the right way, look at the stitch loops on top of the stitch and follow the order of those. Then you'll get the stitches in the right order. Let me just show you how the cross looks in the finished pattern. Here you can see the stitches with the first stitches are made here, and so they will be below, and then the last stitches are made on top of the other ones. Even though this cable is a bit advanced, it's not too difficult once you get the hang of it. And I hope this video will help you make the DNA bag.